So do you guys know any of the names of your fifth great grandparents? My name is Tanya. I'm obsessed with genealogy in my family tree, and I come here to talk about my relatives who have come before me. I tell their stories and I make sure they're remembered by those who come after me. And just last night, I found out the names of one pair of my fifth times great grandparents. Not only that, but I also found a sixth cousin, and I cannot believe that she lives here in the same city as me in Sydney. So how does one go about finding their fifth great grandparents? Well, I basically went on to Ancestry and I started working my way back through the generations on one of my lines. And sure enough, I hit a name that I thought I had seen before. It was Letitia Gill. Letitia is my cousin's name as well, so I was kind of interested that her name was Letitia, and the surname Gill stood out to me as a surname that I've come across a couple of times. For some reason, I was drawn to her and I just started to search a little bit about her. I didn't even look in the DNA list, but rather I went straight to the trees and started looking at the hints I was getting once I had entered her and her family into my tree. And so sooner or later, I found some evidence, some photos that had been put up by a woman, and I decided to click on her name and have a look at her tree because it was an open public tree. So as I'm looking at it, I could kind of decipher that she had some type of relationship to this Letitia Gill, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to message her and see if she replies. So I wrote her a message, and this is what it said. Okay, so I said, "Hello Anne, my name is Tanya and I've recently received a hint from Ancestry regarding my ancestor Letitia Gill being in your tree. I was wondering if you might be able to tell me your connection to her, please. Thanks so much, Tanya." And within a couple of hours, 2 hours to be precise, she had replied. And she said, "Hi Tanya, nice to hear from you. My 4 times great-grandparents, John and Margaret Rowley, née Gill, migrated to Australia from County Mayo Island in 1855. So I knew this was the same place that Letitia was from. They were assisted by Margaret's sister Sarah, who was already in the New South Wales colony with their sister Anne. I had seen that someone called Sarah had paid for Letitia to come out to Australia, but I wasn't sure of the relationship between them. Sarah paid for John and Margaret, their 2 children, Ellen and Patrick, who were 3 and 1, and her youngest sister, Letitia Gill. This makes Letitia my 4th times great-grandaunt. I've had a look at your trees, but I can't see Letitia there. What is the connection? Regards, Anne." Now, at that stage, I'd only been working on my tree for the day, so I hadn't even input Letitia into my actual tree by that stage. So I was madly putting that all in, and I thought I'd write back to her and say, well, Letitia is my 4th times great-grandparent. And so because they were sisters, it was our 5th times great-grandparent that was our common ancestor. So I wrote back and I told her that I believed our 5 times great-grandparents were our common ancestors, John Gill and Mary Carroll, perhaps, and that therefore we are 6th cousins. Oh my gosh, it was so exciting. I also said to her, some might think that is so far away, but I think it's incredible that I have been able to find her, and vice versa. I told her I lived in Sydney and she said she does too, so who knows where this might go down the track. But the next message from her was like, "Hi again, cousin Tanya." It was a really nice feeling. So yeah, I'm super stoked to be on this pathway, and yeah, I really hope I can find out more about Letitia Gill and let you know all about her and her family. She did mention one other thing in her message, and that was that her sister was part of the Earl Grey scheme that came out from Ireland. And if you don't know anything about that, I'll come back and talk about it in another video. So until then, bye for now.